Hey guys, Jared here, Magnetic Men's Club. Hope everyone's doing well. I did a video, we'll link it to this one, and it was basically entitled Sexless Marriage. And in that video, I gave possible reasons why your wife is just not interested in having sex with you anymore. And the very first reason why I gave infidelity, she's having an affair. And so this video sort of piggybacks on that one, and we're really going to hone in on this idea or this fact, basically, that women cheat just as much as men, especially in today's society where there's more access to different men through Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, dating apps. There's just more access. And when there's more access to something, there's more of a probability that a woman could exercise her hypergamous nature and cheat on you. So this video is kind of just the betrayed husband. Let's just call it that. I don't know what the hell we're going to call it. It's far different when a woman cheats on her husband than when a man cheats on their wife. Now, I know it's a double standard, but we live in a world full of double standards. And so this video, I'm going to talk about the psychology of what it actually does to a man when he finds out that his wife has been unfaithful in their relationship. Like most men, they never really find out until much later that their wife had an affair. Yes, there's some signs. We've done a video on some of the signs that your wife is cheating. We'll link that one down below as well. But the biggest sign is she's losing sexual interest in you. Now, I want you to watch the other video on this because there's some other reasons why it's not just infidelity. There's other reasons why she's losing sexual interest in you, but this video specific is because she's cheating on your ass. She is being unfaithful. Now, there's two types of infidelity for women. There's emotional and then there's physical. Men, we don't really have emotional infidelity. We don't typically go outside of our marriages to hope to start a new relationship with another woman. Now, some guys do. Some guys will have sex with a girl, fall in love with her, and then they develop way more problems. But most guys can just have sex with a girl and literally go home and still love their wives, be great fathers, all of that. But women can't do that. Women have to have some type of an emotional competency to this other guy. Of course, there has to be attraction first, but then she has to have an emotional tie to him at some level, and then that in and of itself is infidelity. Maybe she's talking to him about you. Maybe she's talking to him, flirting with him. Maybe they're talking sexual and having this banter. All of that is infidelity. She's giving her time and her attention and her affection to another man. That's infidelity. Now, it can go one step further where she actually physically has to open up her legs to let another man's penis into her. That's physical infidelity. So there are two differences, but to me, honestly, emotional infidelity is probably much worse than just physical infidelity. Of course, we don't want the thought that our wife is screwing somebody else, but it's also, we don't really like the thought of our wife confiding in somebody else and having these special moments and having these little, this little banter and stuff. That's what really drives us nuts. So women are very good at hiding this. Again, one of the signs is she's starting to lose sexual interest in you, but that isn't a reason why she's cheating. That happened prior to her cheating. Okay, that happened maybe a year or 6 months prior. Something was going on in the relationship that caused her to move into this idea now that maybe there is somebody else out there. Now, like most women, you probably heard this before. I'm a good girl. I'm not like that. I'm not like these other girls. Well, this is here where the problem lies, because 70% of all divorces are initiated by women. And a large portion of the reason why is infidelity. Now, you might never know she cheated on you with another guy. All you know is you got side slammed with separation papers, which leads to a divorce. And so we might not find out until the separation's gone through, you moved out of the house, and all of a sudden Tyrone or Chad is spending a lot of time with her. Well, my friends, he was always in the picture. So the playbook always goes like this. There's steps that happen for a woman that pretty much always follow suit. They're always the same steps. And of course, you have to be married first, or a long-term relationship. There has to be a relationship of some sorts. During that time, usually a few years in, that sex you guys used to have, that passion, that starts to wear off, and a woman starts thinking something's wrong. She's not being fulfilled. You've heard this before. She's not being heard. She's just not feeling the relationship as much. And so once she starts feeling these things, then she starts having this idea that maybe there's something more out there for me. This is where their hypergamous nature kicks in. And oftentimes the next step that follows is infidelity. It could be a new guy at work. It could be an old boyfriend that just came back in the picture somehow. Could be a past fling. It could be a guy she met at a bar. And all of a sudden, she's attracted to this person. He's saying the right things. He's doing the right things. She's feeling excited again. She's feeling like this part of her that was feeling empty is now starting to get filled up. She might not be cheating yet, but she is having an emotional affair. And then this can continue. This can continue on for a couple weeks, a couple months, could continue for years where she doesn't cross the line with him, but he's in the picture. And then once they have this infidelity, once they start emotionally investing in this guy, this is where the next stage comes in, her identity crisis. Because you got to remember, when she said her vows or moved in with you, and she had those thoughts, oh, I'm a good girl. I would never cheat on Frank. I would never cheat on my husband. And then she's starting to feel attraction for another guy. This is where her identity starts smashing into her reality. Maybe I am this type of girl. Maybe this is the one for me. Maybe this guy is my soulmate. Maybe I am making a mistake staying in this marriage. And once she's built up enough of this emotional competency and they do escalate it to sex, bet your ass the contact with another man, this emotional bond that she has with this guy, she's going to want to pair bond with him. She's going to fall in love with him, all while still being married to you. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. I know it sucks. And at this exact same time, you still might not know what's going on. Just something's different from her. She's dressing different. She might have new perfume on. She may have styled her hair differently. She might be going out with the girls a lot more. These are all signs that she is basically having an affair with another man. And as this goes, her identity crisis starts kicking up more and more. She starts feeling really bad. She's like, I can't believe I'm doing this to my husband, but oh, it feels so good being with this guy. It feels right. It feels natural. Everything's easy with this guy. And I come home and she just feels violated being home. She feels like she's being suffocated by just being home. And she will even go as far as changing her sleep patterns Where maybe you guys at least used to go to bed together. 10 o'clock, you're ready for bed. She might be watching new shows just to fall asleep later so that you can't touch her. You can't initiate sex with her. She doesn't want it from you. And she starts feeling bad. She starts sleeping on the couch. And all the while, you're trying even harder to win her over. You're saying, hey, let's go on vacation. You're buying her jewelry. You're doing all this. All the while, she's falling deeper and deeper in love with this other guy. And she's kind of at this crossroads. She doesn't know what to do. She feels sick to her stomach that she allowed it to happen. Women typically don't associate anything that they do wrong with their fault. They're going to start thinking of, well, you know, my husband never really, after our marriage, everything kind of just went down. He really didn't talk to me anymore, blah, blah, blah. She's going to start blaming her husband of why she's in this circumstance to begin with. They don't really have the ability to self-reflect, to have self-discovery and say, wait a minute, I'm the one who talked to this guy. I'm the one who initiated contact, or at least entertained him during the initial contact. I'm the one who opened up my legs to him and let him enter. I'm at fault. I have done these things. Women won't do that. They'll blame and abduct their responsibilities onto somebody else. So as this is going on, and as she's getting more and more confused, she's getting pressure from society, her girlfriends, her parents, maybe just something on TV talking about how bad infidelity is. And remember, she was that type of girl. I would never do this. And now she's in this relationship with this other guy, and she's starting to just feel sick. She's starting to feel like, this is a big problem. What do I do? And then the next stage that typically happens after the husband has tried everything he is doing, after he flat out said, are you having an affair with me, still doesn't know, she springs this idea of what's called separation. She's like, honey, I'm just really confused right now. I'm trying to find who I am as a person. As we got married, we merged together as one, and I just have this identity about me. I don't know who I am. Just give me this separation. Just give me some time to be by myself so that I can figure out who I am. What she's trying to do is sit on both sides of the fence. She wants the comfort and stability of you still being primarily the provider, being the husband, yet she wants to go get dicked down by Tyrone or Chad. And by having that separation, having that legal document that we're separated, she can pretend she's in a relationship with this guy, all while she's still technically legally married to you. So she gets the comfort of both worlds. And you would think that by doing this, she would gain clarity. It doesn't. It makes her worse. It makes her even more confused, because she still might love you being a good man. She still might love you that you're a good father, a good provider. All of these things. You might even make a shit ton of money, and she loves her lifestyle. This guy might just be really good and bad, good looking, and she has amazing sex with him, but she's weighing it out. Her hypergamous nature is still weighing out both. Do I monkey branch and jump with this guy? I don't even know if he has a job or not. I don't really know what he does for a living. Or do I stay with what I know? This is what separation does. Separation is supposed to be this period of time where you can kind of gain some clarity on, by living alone without your partner, you can gain some clarity on if you want to be with them. Well, if there's another person in the picture, that clouds that clarity. So they'll ask for a separation. They might have every other weekend off. You have the kids a few days during the week. And she gets to be in this love story with this guy. They get to go on mini vacations, just go cook, basically just have sex like rabbits. And then the kids come home and she's the mom of the year. And All the while, you're still in this limbo. You really still want your wife. You want it to work out. You've given her this space. You've given her the separation. You're still paying all the fucking bills. Then what happens is one of two things. You find out that she's in an affair, and if you're smart, you'd file the divorce. Even though most states are no contest, no fault divorce, which is bullshit. If you're a real man, you're just going to file the divorce and kick her to the curb. Or she's going to file the divorce thinking the grass is greener on the other side because she's so enamored, whatever that fucking word is, by this new guy. She thinks that this guy is the one. It is my soulmate. I can't live without him. So she's going to burn Rome down to the ground, move into this with this guy, start a new life with this guy. Now here's the statistics, or here's the facts of that. She hasn't fixed whatever dysfunction she had originally, which caused her to feel empty inside. She hasn't done any reflection on what she's done wrong in the marriage. And then this guy comes in the picture, takes her in, they move in together. Within a couple years, she's back to the same circle. She's back to that same paradigm where now she feels empty again. She feels unfulfilled. All the while, this guy, this new guy, if he had any brains, is like, you cheated on me from your husband. What makes you think you're not going to do it again? If he's smart, he would think that, and he would just keep the relationship the way it is and not take her seriously. But this is where second marriages come in. This is one of the reasons why second marriages typically is a 64% of all second marriages end in divorce. So you think you get it right the second time. You didn't, because you haven't learned from your mistakes. You haven't learned from your past traumas of your first relationship, and even prior to that, you're just going to make the same mistakes again. Now, there's another alternative. She might realize, I don't want to lose half of my shit, my lifestyle, the fact that I don't want to break up my home. And there are a lot of families, husbands and wives, who come to an understanding. It's usually on an income level of around $250,000 or more, a higher income level couple. They usually have an understanding where, listen, we're not going to get a divorce. I'm going to go do what I'm going to do. You go do what you got to do. Don't bring any diseases home. Don't bring any outside babies. Don't bring any drama. Don't put it on social media. There are a lot of couples that will just play the game of being married for the public persona, but they have their little flings on the side. And if you have kids, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because a two-parent household who still loves the kids, who are still there for the kids, I think it's better than a single-parent household. I really do. That's just my opinion. You can take that for whatever it's worth. But, so you will have some couples that will be like that. You also have the woman deciding to stay in the marriage just because she doesn't want to lose half of her shit, just so she can be the mom, but she will still step out, because once she's got a taste of this passion, this desire for another man, she's gonna keep having that. And it might be somebody different, because this guy who she initiated contact with, this guy who she initially had sex with or had an infidelity with, he might have gotten sick of her shit. He might have said, listen, you either divorce him and come with me, or I'm going to go find somebody else. Oftentimes, these guys finally get it and realize she's never really going to leave him. They go find somebody who is single, who is available, who can love them publicly, and then the woman gets pissed at both of them. She gets mad at the guy for finding somebody new, and she gets mad at her husband, again, because all of this was his fault. This is the logic. This is what happens oftentimes when women betray their husband. It's an emotional tampon. It's this emotional vomit that comes out. And the only way that she can truly get back to that good girl status, if you want to call it that, is to divorce the husband, get rid of the first guy, and start dating again. This kind of resets her because people don't know her. They don't know her situation. And then she can feel like a good girl again. Oh, I can go out on dates. I can go meet some people. I can get into another relationship with another guy and he doesn't know about what happened. This resets her good girl status. Two things I want to point out. The guy who she became unfaithful with towards her husband is the rebound. He's just a rebound. He's just that placeholder who was in the right place at the right time or the wrong place at the wrong time, however you want to look at it. And they had amazing chemistry, amazing sex, but it couldn't last because the whole thing was built on a lie. This is why so many men are opting out of marriage. This is why so many men are just so tired of the way marriage is this day. A lot of people used to think marriage was monogamy, which is, the definition is one woman for the rest of your life. Now the definition of monogamy is one partner at a time. I'm not saying men are perfect. I'm not saying women aren't deserving of new love and new relationships, even if she made a mistake. I'm just pointing out a man who is going through a divorce, when he finds out the real reason for the divorce or the separation is for another man, it's heart-wrenching. Because not only did this other man physically penetrate his wife, he emotionally got to her. And the emotional side is way worse than the physical side. My name is Jared Schoonmaker. This is Magnetic Men's Club. If you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, that bell icon so you know when new videos will be made. And with that, have a good day. We'll talk soon.